Okay, I've tried to figure out how to start this video because this is completely unscripted, and this might be a bit of a rant because I'm kind of pissed off. I'm not gonna lie, whether you're a console gamer, a PC gamer, this affects everyone. This overall is the epitome of just bullcrap, and I'm gonna try not to cuss too much in this video because baby YouTube doesn't like it. But that's gonna be very hard for me considering the subject matter, because as of today and recently, I went on Twitter thinking all is right with the world, because obviously X-Men 97 Season 2 came out. I'm really happy. I enjoyed that, but that's beside the point. I get on there, and Sony slash PlayStation announces that they have two announcements. One, they're shutting down the PlayStation 3 store, and also, they're no longer going to be making discs for older games, and they're pretty much going to stop doing discs in general. Physical media is going to be gone. And that is a very worrisome thought, because this is something that they've been trying to push for a long time, all digital media and stuff like that, like a streaming service. And that's not good, because easily they can control the market. What games are on there, they can easily remove stuff, and they can control what you can get access to and what you can't. And that's a big problem, a massive problem, because easily companies can start doing this and applying this to anything and everything, music, movies, and so on. And that is a massive issue to me, because having something actually makes it to where you own it. If you have an older game that you can't even find anymore, you own it. And they can't actually touch it or can't get rid of it. And there are a lot of games that are hard to get, and the physical versions of them have never been remastered or anything, and they're incredibly expensive because of how rare they are. X-Men Origins Wolverine, Alice Asylum, and so on. And this decision actually has a domino effect, because with them controlling physical media and phasing it out, we're practically screwed, because now we're going to own nothing. Because they could easily get rid of it, remove it, if you're not careful. And that is a massive problem. And it's not something out of the ordinary, because we have seen it with DLC content and other stuff being delisted before, and now certain people are locked out of it. So with them doing this, imagine that, but for any type of game. But also with their prior decision to update the consoles to where, oh, if you don't have internet connection for about 30 days, oh, you have to renew your license or you lose it. You own nothing. This just adds on to that, and it's practically corporate greed. With them shutting down the PlayStation 3 store, this was inevitable, but this was also a marketplace where you can buy games digitally. And if you're trying to push people to buy stuff digitally, why shut down another means of doing so? Yes, this marketplace is older. Yes, I know that. But at the same time, there are certain games that are locked to specific consoles and older generations. Lego Batman 1 has never gotten a port. Lego Batman 2, same thing. Alice Asylum is locked to the PlayStation 3, and there is no way to port it over because of the licensing crap with EA. The same goes for Dante's Inferno. And there are so many games that run into this issue that they have not decided to port it or even do anything with that specific franchise. Infamous is another one, despite rumors. Hell, Arkham Origins, this is a big one. There is no remaster planned for that. The DLC would be locked, completely locked out. You have no way of getting anything when it comes to the DLC of that game. You would be screwed. Very similar to what happened with the Xbox 360. You have no way of ever getting any extra content from the PlayStation 3 or games that are locked to it ever. Nothing. Nada. And this is a massive problem, because if they're trying to force us to go all digital, okay, and they're trying to cut out the idea of physical, well, you're going to run into a massive issue, because there are certain games that you can't get digital anymore, because you control the market. You won't upgrade them, you won't port them, you won't do anything, and while emulation is one thing that you can do, these companies are going after people for emulating anything, because they're trying to control the market. And considering the prices of things, they're practically just screwing over the consumer even more, because if you have no way of getting a physical version of these older games, and you can't emulate them without a problem, you're basically screwed. Because they're just sitting on their hands doing nothing with certain properties and not upgrading them to newer consoles. So no matter what you do as a player, you're screwed. And this is just a very terrible decision on Xbox, on Sony. It's practically just corporate greed. Because bad enough they're shutting down different companies that are making certain games for them. And if they do go with this route of phasing out physical media and phasing out the idea of getting a disc, you're basically screwed, because once those discs run out for these older games, there's no way of ever getting brand new versions of them. There's nothing. Yeah, you can buy them, but with prices and how rare they could be, that price will be in the hundreds or thousands decades down the line. At least with you having a physical version of the game, you own it. They can't remove it off your PlayStation, and it's just locked in there. They could probably try to screw with you, and there are different side notes of maybe the disc gets damaged or whatever, but obviously there are ways to repair the disc. While it does, and it is costly, it is feasible. While there are downsides to physical, there are a lot of upsides, because they can't really control things. With all digital, they can control absolutely everything, and that is a massive problem. And this applies all across the board. Xbox, Nintendo, and even PC. They can control it all. There's no physical way of getting these games anymore, and if that's gone, we're all screwed. Because if there's a game that you actually like and stuff like that, if they can control the idea of like, well, if you're not on the internet, you lose the license. Well, let's say if that's the case and you do restore it and that game has been removed from their store, you basically lose it forever. There's no way of restoring your license. You're screwed. And that is a massive problem overall for any gamer of any console. No matter what age you are, you need to actually make your voice heard and understand that physical media needs to stick around. It needs to, because this is something that is going to cause massive headache, massive problems. It's overall just corporate greed at its finest. Games like Epic Mickey Power of 2 have never gotten a port or remaster like its original counterpart, and it's probably never going to, because of the controlling of the market. And also, to make matters worse, there's no way of actually replaying that game. Yes, you have the PlayStation Plus premium version, but that runs into issues. That runs into so many problems because of the emulation, the glitchiness, the internet connection required, and so much more. If you have a physical version of that game, you can play it at any point. While it might have issues, you still own it. You still have it. You can do it at any time. You can play it at any point, and that goes for any game in existence. You remove that, and it's all over. And this could be actually the end of gaming as a whole, because this is just corporate greed at its finest. And you might have people trying to defend this and, oh, they should upgrade to the newer consoles. Well, that's going to be null and void if everything is all digital. It's going to screw over anyone and everyone if everything is all digital games from now on. And nobody has thousands of dollars. Look at the economy right now. It's screwed. Everything is expensive. Do you honestly think it's going to be that easy for people? Hell no. So this is a very dumb, very problematic decision. And I know I'm stuttering and there's some spaces in my sentences here, but this is unscripted. This is just my basic thoughts. This is overall a massive problem. And you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can try to defend it if you want to. But this is not good at all. No matter how you try to slice it, it is not good.